Thanks for joining us for Best Friends. I think this is the chilliest edition of Best Friends we've had so far. It is frigid out there, but we're warm and cozy in here in the cat room. Talking about cold weather though, one of these little hints, since I just finished retrieving a cat from the veterinarian who had been caught in a fan belt. If you leave your car parked outside and warm it up on a cold morning, thump the hood before you get in and drive off, because you may have a hitchhiker that you weren't expecting. And those moving parts in car engines can be incredibly hard on cats. The first critter that we're talking about today isn't a cat. It's a very special bunny. This little guy came to us because he was being attacked by crows, and you can see his lovely ears, although they're completely healed at this point, are not nearly as long as a lop should be because the crows took some of it. He had some other injuries too, but he has recovered from those. And he is one of the mildest mannered little lops that I think I've ever seen. And he has a rather odd ability to sleep through nearly anything. But when you wake him up, he loves to be cuddled. He really appreciates his apples and carrots and broccoli. This morning he's not paying much attention to the spinach, but then again, it's not every day that he has to deal with a TV camera, and I'm sure that that's why that's happening. We would hope that he would get to be an indoor bunny at this point. No bunny should ever have to cope with that sort of fear twice in a lifetime. So he needs a very good home, preferably one that has a soft spot for bunnies. He's just a sweet guy. This is Beira. Beira is another of our special needs critters. He came to us as a feral kitten and was in the company of two others, and the other two have been adopted. They were also Rudyard Kipling type guys. Anyway, Beira does not do well with children, because when you pick him up, he will attempt to shred you, and it's particularly hard on small children. However, he is very curious. He will definitely keep you laughing. He is very computer proficient. He will help you with any kind of computer work you might have. I'm fairly convinced he could write a better letter than I can. And he's also kind of an escape artist. He can open doors and things. But there you go. Needs a new home, and he is just a super sweet cat. He does need to be indoor only, and I can't think of anything else we need to tell you about Beira, except that he's not real happy about being restrained, although he's tolerating it very politely for me right now. This is a I think going on 4-month-old male kitten, kind of bedhead. I know the last one was black, this one is black. We have a few kitties in that color persuasion just now, and so expect to see a few more. He has a medium length coat that is going to be one of those coats that is likely to require some attention. A little bit of brushing is all it takes, though, and most people who have cats certainly don't mind that. When his coat finally comes in with the adult hair, it will probably be a little more even than it is right now, but I think this is sort of endearing. It's incredibly soft, and when you comb it backwards, he looks very rumpled and cute, and he likes it. He is the only one left of this particular litter. I believe his sister was just adopted, so he needs a new home now too. Oh goodness. This is a very, very striking tortoiseshell medium hair lady. She likes being brushed. She doesn't much care for having her tummy rubbed. But the neat thing about this kitty is that she really likes dogs. So if you are a dog family and you would like to acquire a kitty that will get along with your dog, then this one might be a very good bet. I really like her. For some reason, although I don't think she reacts particularly to other cats, other cats seem to react to her. I'd have no idea why, but she is a very good candidate if you want a cat and dog sort of blending in your family. And you know, in my estimation, every family should have a dog, a cat, at minimum one, preferably more. She is an extremely affectionate cat, very snuggly. This guy is an absolutely striking chocolate point. He's a lynx. Look at the beautiful blue eyes. Just a gorgeous cat. Also a very accepting cat. He does well with small children, and he is a declawed cat, which makes him a very rare guy, because usually declawed cats are much more defensive than this, and he absolutely is not. He is very confident and comfortable with almost any situation. He would have to be indoor only, simply because of the declaw, unless you have an extremely protected area where a cat would be completely safe without having to use its claws. It wouldn't be a kindness to let him out, even though he would tell you that it might be. His coat is just incredibly unique. It's beautiful. The lynx striping and the chocolate points blend to make him just a pretty boy. He's a very cobby cat, very heavy bone structure and very rounded, muscular body, and apple-headed. Yes, I like you. Yes, I do. These two came to us together quite some time ago, actually, and they have been together for 8 years, and we would like to keep them together. To that end, I will definitely give you a great deal on the two of them as long as they can remain together. One is a little less forward than the other. The gray tabby is a little shyer than the calico, but for the most part, they really depend on each other. Even though they're in a double condo here, they still will stay on the same side and sleep together. They have to be touching to be comfortable. They are both very personable cats. It isn't that one would collapse without the other one. It's just that they prefer it, and for that reason we prefer that for them. So if you're looking for a two kitty combination, two healthy sister cats, at least we think they're sisters. To be honest with you, I'm not sure. They may have come from separate litters so long ago, but they've lived together for 8 years. Definitely you have a very compatible pair here, and we have seen no evidence of any litter pan issues or anything, which is occasionally the case when you have two same-sex cats in a household. These two seem to be fine here at the shelter at any rate. Now maybe you could just say hello. There, that would be nice. This one has slightly longer hair than her calico sister, but generally speaking, both of these kitties are in good shape. Very, very nice, thick plush coats. This kitty has an interesting personality quirk. She loves hiding under her bed. For any of you Barbara Kinsolver readers out there, this is Turtle. At least that's what I call her. When you walk in here, you'll see nothing but one paw hanging out from under her bed, and she looks like a turtle. So when she goes to her new adoptive home, her bed goes with her. She is so sweet. She has been both a mother and a foster mama. She is one of our super moms, and she has been a wonderful, tolerant, giving, generous cat. And she's ready for a home of her own, and I can't think of a kitty that more richly deserves a good one. Probably would be a good family cat. Certainly has enough of a sense of humor to survive little ones. Very pretty too. Yes. This kitty is perfectly capable of tolerating humans, but she doesn't like dogs and she does not like other cats. And she's only about 1.5 years old, so she came by that trait. We do not know how, but whatever it is, it sure came with her. So bear in mind that if you take this kitty, which would be a very good idea if you have a household where you anticipate only having one pet, she will definitely be with you for the long haul, and she will love you. She just won't be willing to share you with any other pets. Often that's the problem that we see when we place a cat that we say very clearly is not one that's going to tolerate other animals. Then somewhere down the road, tolerating other animals becomes expected of them, and then the adoption fails because she can't. It's just the way she's made up. Doesn't care much for other dogs or cats. Or should I say other cats or dogs. Here we have another calico. You know, see the tortoiseshell, it's a pastel calico or tortoiseshell. See, whenever you have a tortoiseshell with white, it becomes a calico technically, but when the colors are mingled like this, it isn't called a clear calico. Isn't she beautiful? She is just a gorgeous cat. Loves being rubbed, is a good snuggler. And these kitties with this color pattern, 9 times out of, no, I'd say 99 times out of 100 are female. I have seen one patch tabby calico that was male, and it was a very unusual cat. But as with most of them, this one is female. She's very loving, and would just as soon hide in my sweater as look at that scary camera thing. Right? I know. This is one of a litter of kittens that we have available. This gray one is a little male, and this is a female. They're, I'd say between going on 5 months or so, or maybe at the end of 4 months. This one has an amazing coat. It is just as silky as it can be, and as it grows, it's going to have an absolutely gorgeous coat. Look at the eyes, that copper color, beautiful, beautiful. Very shiny, is just a striking cat. And the stripe on her nose makes her nose look so much longer. Odd shape, sorry about that. I needed to bring this one back. I believe that there are others in the litter, and it's kind of strange to have cats this young at this time of year, but there you are. It's been kind of a strange year. These are very personable guys. You would do very well to include these in your family, one or the other of them. This is just one of the prettiest kittens I've seen in a while. Her striping is so broad it's hard to say whether she's a classic tabby or not, but whatever it is, it's going to be a beautiful marking. There we go. You know, those are just a few of the cats we have. We have more, but we don't have more time. You'll join us, I hope, as we go over to our dog area and meet some of the dogs that are there. Remember that we see animals coming in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We never know what's coming next, and consequently, neither do you. So if you are interested in any of the animals that you saw here today, you will want to check with us because they might still be here. But on the other hand, if that one has been adopted, there are more. Believe me, there are more. And as long as the flow keeps coming, we'll keep placing. See you at the dog area. This is a 1.5-year-old unneutered Akita, who I think is just an absolutely striking dog. I kind of like Akitas anyway. They have a certain confidence about them that you don't always find in dogs. Definitely not in the herding breeds that I usually mess with. But this guy is gorgeous. Look at that lovely, thick, thick, thick coat. His markings are pretty. You can get down now. Thank you. Yes, you're very cute. And he is not likely to stay home. If you have an Akita, you need to make sure you have a well-fenced yard. They are pretty much prey-driven, and they will go after anything that goes past them, not necessarily to injure it, but sometimes it works out that way, just because he's a dog. He's a big dog. He's a very handsome big dog, and he's very bright, will learn very quickly, and will be an asset to any family that wants to take the trouble to train him. But train him you must. You can't have a dog like this without training it, in a formal setting preferably. And of course he would be neutered before he goes home. Isn't he handsome? What a pretty, pretty boy. What an asset to a family, yes. This is ouch, 6-month-old pit mix puppy who does not have a soft mouth. This one is going to need a lot of work and a lot of exercise, and at least she won't take a lot of brushing. A lot of patience. Patience is going to be key here because, you know, I'm already thinking impure thoughts. Okay, you behave. And training, again, is going to be absolutely paramount. She doesn't have a real long attention span, but she does love food, and that's a big asset. This is Jack. Jack is a lab, we think, rot mix. I think that's what the owner thought too. He is one sturdy dog, about 100 pounds. Outgoing, gentle, very handsome, yes. A little on the heavy side. He doesn't need to be quite this heavy. Sturdy is one thing. Chubby is something else. You can't even find his ribs. And, oh, I found them. Did they tickle? Is that what was going on? Anyway, Jack is a nice, nice dog. He's good with his kennel mate, who is actually his brother. That's unusual enough to have two neutered males that are that compatible. But he also does very well with people, and even with other dogs, although there may be some barrier aggression, I'm not at all sure that he's starting it. So I think Jack is a terrific family dog. He is one that you would definitely want to introduce your family to first, but he's a good, steady kind of guy. Not terribly excitable, willing to give you benefit of the doubt, willing to tolerate, yes, mistakes, which I think is very kind in a dog, and just for the most part, a very nice family dog. I like Jack, and I feel very badly that his owner had to give him up because he deserved to have a forever home. And Jack could go with his brother, or his brother's name is Jordan, or he could go separately. I don't think either of these dogs would come completely unglued if they were without the other one of them. And I think Jack would team up very nicely with a spayed female in a family. And it wouldn't necessarily have to be another really big dog. It could be probably a medium-sized dog as well. Don't think I would put him in with a Yorkie or something, because if he sat on it, it would squish. That happens. He's a big boy. He sure is a nice boy, though. This is another Akita type, but he actually is mixed with something else. We're thinking probably Husky, possibly Australian Shepherd, but I think more likely Husky. And he is one strong dog for his size. He, of course, you know, Jack would not have put much behind pulling. He's just that gentle a dog. But this guy could definitely take me off the bench without much of a problem if he chose to. The odds are, though, he's not going to. He's really a very nice dog. His brother has already been adopted. This guy is not going to be safe with cats. I would not even necessarily be comfortable with him with other small dogs. It's just too much prey drive and too much dog here to stop an accident if it started. But he is very willing to please. He loves to go outside on his leash. And he is such a handsome boy. Isn't he beautiful? He will talk to you. Not right now, fortunately, since you wouldn't be able to hear me if he was talking. But yes, he's a very alert, interested dog, and just a lot of dog there. We call this fellow Rufus. I don't know if that's really his name. It probably isn't. He's an older dog. He's about 8, I guess. Ow. But he's a really sweet boy. Very gentle. He likes to go on walks along our trails. He knows some commands. I believe he knows, let's see, sit. Does know sit. And let's see. I think that there may be some other ones. Speak. See? He knew that one too. Yeah. Anyway, he's an older boy, and yet he's a very good dog and is healthy and has the rest of his life to give to a family. And I think the rest of his life would be very rewarding for a family who was aware that labs tend to live about 10 or 12 years, and if he's 8, he's still got a lot of time left. And I think that he would be a real asset to a family. Anyway, if you come to see us, ask to see Rufus. This little girl is older. She's about 6, maybe 7. She needs to be with people. She hasn't ever been crate trained, and she hasn't been housebroken either. And yet, I don't think that it would take long to be able to do either of those things with her because she's very responsive. It still is going to have to be done, and there's going to be a certain amount of transition time to get it done. She's a very cuddly dog. She likes being with people, but she will bark if she's left alone. And yet, she's not the kind of dog you can leave alone outside by any means, or the neighbors are not going to love you. Anyway, within those parameters, for somebody that's home all the time and has the patience and understanding of housebreaking and is willing to be consistent with her and take her outside, what an adorable little dog. She's just cute as a button. She gets along well with other dogs. She does pretty well with kids so far. And there's just not much that doesn't recommend her. She's a fixer-upper, okay? We have lots of those here, but usually they wouldn't be here if they weren't. So come see us. Okay. She might not be here when you come because she might find a home today even. We can hope. But things change here. We have lots more dogs right now than we did last week. And we'll have more tomorrow. So come visit with us and see who we do have.